Welcome to Winning Retirement TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Greg and Kristen Taylor of Legacy Retirement Group. And our show is all about winning in retirement. We want you to have a very secure and happy, filled with peace retirement plan. Greg, how are you today?
I'm happy.
Good. I'm happy too. It's
too.
a great day.
Yeah.
Kristen, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Wonderful. I love being in the studio with both of you because obviously you're delivering such amazing information to our viewers at home. And actually, Greg, you have been doing so, planning for retirement 30 plus years. Kristen, you've been involved now with Greg in the business 15 years. And I know that consistently one thing remains the same. People want to make the most of their retirement income. So I should ask you, Greg, right out of the bat, with everything changing, those that are age 60 and older, what steps should they be taking to make sure that they are getting the most out of their retirement dollars?
You know, you always want to make sure that you're on track to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, no matter what that is in life. And retirement is no different. You should make sure you're on track. And the first thing I believe is a key point is define your goals.
Okay.
What in the world do you want your retirement to look like? And, you know, part of it is, you know, when do I want to retire? And for some people that's hard because retirement almost seems like things are stopping. But, you know, we don't want that to be the case. We don't want retirement to be really the end of something. We want it to be the beginning of something new. We don't want it to be the end of a purpose. We want it to be a renewed purpose. And those are things that I think are really key, is just understand, when is it, can I retire, and am I ready?
Well, yeah, I think designing your goals is important. And I think it's a step that's missed, and I think it's inadvertent. You know, as you're thinking about retiring, it becomes all about money, and that is the biggest part of it. You know, we say all the time, income equals lifestyle. It's the foundation of your retirement, of course, but really knowing where you want to go. As I've been teaching my two older boys how to drive, right? They're both, Christian's been driving a year now, crazy, right?
Wow, it's been a year?
Yes,
wow.
It's been about a year, and Cameron is starting to get on the road.
Okay.
And the first thing I teach them is I say, you know, we have all this technology now. Put your destination in. That way you're not distracted trying to figure out where you're going, right?
That's true.
Set your goal up front. Don't get in the car and start driving and realize, oh man, I don't know which way to turn, right?
Exactly.
If you have it in there, then you know where you're going and you can just smooth sailing. You can just get there, right?
Exactly.
Less things to worry about. And so I think with retirement, we're so focused on the money, we don't think about what it is we actually want to do. How are we going to enjoy these years and all this time that we have?
Sure.
So that is key, I think. I think that's the fun part of it.
Absolutely.
That gets missed out on.
Definitely. It's not the end of the book. It's the next chapter.
It is
That's
not.
right. In your life.
So next we need to take inventory of our assets.
Absolutely.
How much is in tax deferred? How much is in taxable? How much is in tax-free? Take inventory of that.
I say sift through those piles of money.
Sift through them. That's it. Absolutely. And then we need to really take inventory of how much risk we have.
That's a big one.
That's a big one, yes.
And know what that even means, because you think, well, I don't want risky assets. A lot of folks come in, I told my advisor, I don't want risky assets, but they're 100% stocks. Well, but mine aren't the risky ones. Well, right. Yeah, I mean, anytime you're in stocks, it can go up and it can come down. There's some element of risk. I mean, certainly there's ones that are more aggressive than others, but really taking inventory. And what that means is understanding on a scale of 1 to 100, a risk score, where do you stand? Where do you feel comfortable? And where do you actually stand? And are there some adjustments that need to be made?
Okay.
How about why you're invested the way you're invested? Asking
why.
that question.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean, when we go through life, Cynthia, I know you've done this in your career over the years, you have your why, right?
Of course.
Your why, whether it's your kids or your family or, being a good steward of what the gifts God's given you, your why, I think, is important in how you invest. Why do you have what you have? Were you sold a product, or was this a tool that was used to accomplish part of your goal? I think those are important questions to ask and really assess.
Yes, absolutely. And then what about having your portfolio tested, Greg?
Oh, my goodness. How in the world do you know where you stand? How can you take inventory if you don't test it?
Yes.
I'll never forget one of my first jobs out of high school before I went to college. I remember I worked in it was called Ruth Wilson Wall Covering in Grandview.
Okay.
And we had to take inventory. So it was a wall covering company. We had to go to every bin, every box, and count every roll of wallpaper in that entire warehouse. It was tedious.
Absolutely.
It's a hard thing to do on your own to have your things tested. It really is. So that's one of the things that we love doing is sitting down with families and helping them test what they have to make sure that something's not slipping through the cracks for them.
Thank you, Greg. Kristen, what about knowing where your retirement paychecks will come from? That's
Show
a big one.
yourself the money,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I like to talk about the other stuff, but when it gets down to it, you need money to retire. I mean, you need to give yourself a paycheck. So knowing how you're going to get dependable income is really important. But what we so often find with the families you watching that come in and meet with us every week is that, you know, you've been kind of trained to get dependable income from non-dependable sources. That's kind of what we've done throughout our lives. And so you need to really start rewiring how you're thinking for your retirement income if there is a certain dollar amount that's needed, and see if it makes sense to think a different way as you start planning to pay yourself throughout those retirement years if you don't have a pension like we've talked about on other shows, or you don't have, or your Social Security is nowhere near, in most cases, enough to live on as you're going through your retirement months and years. So going through there, and then also understanding how those distributions are going to work differently.
Okay.
You know, as you start retiring, because when you're working and you're putting money in and you're investing, and it's just this perpetual thing that happens, your money just eventually grows. But as you're retired and you're actually withdrawing money, you're not necessarily putting money back into those investment accounts, and we're seeing market fluctuations, that starts to feel a little bit different. And that security you talked about at the top of the hour, of course, there's no way to guarantee a completely secure retirement.
Yeah.
That does not exist. But there are ways to make you feel more secure about your plan and things that you're doing so that you know you're going to be successful to meet the goals you're trying to accomplish in your retirement years.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, we just recently met with a family. Their advisor they'd had for 20 plus years said, look, the S&P 500 has averaged almost 9% in the last 20 years per year. If you want to pull 6% out to live on in retirement, which was about what they needed to meet their income goal, he said, if it's averaging almost 9 and you pull out 6, you'll never have to worry. And that was their mindset. But I have a tool that I use in my office. It shows how market fluctuations can impact our retirement income.
Okay.
So I plugged the S&P 500 in for the last 20 years, and I said, yes, your advisor is right. It has averaged almost 9% a year. But when I plugged in a 6% withdrawal rate, in 18 years, they were out of money.
Wow.
So
That's scary.
that's called sequence of return risk. And that's why you need a dependable income stream. You can't just think the way you did it before is going to work out okay in retirement.
Well, Greg, I know that you and Kristen are very busy, but that you have set aside some spots this week for new clients coming in. Let's talk a little bit about that before we take our very first commercial break.
Well, we want, Cynthia, people to know that their retirement's going to be okay. We want you to know that your risk is where it should be. We want you to know that you have an income plan that's solid and dependable, that you have a tax strategy in place, that your health care plan is solid, and whatever's left behind gets to those you love as efficiently as possible. But today, I'm offering the opportunity for you to come in one-on-one and get your own personal written income plan and financial plan. Now, that's going to be for anyone who calls before the end of the show today. And to claim your appointment, just give us a call, 614-336-7660. We're going to meet with you one-on-one, and what you'll walk away with is your own personalized written plan.
Greg, thank you so much. Kristen, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, that number to call is 614-336-7660. You've worked your entire life to get to the retirement years, and you deserve to have the retirement of your dreams. You deserve to win in retirement. Don't miss the opportunity to claim your spot today. That number again is 614-336-7660, or if you have your smartphone handy, go ahead, grab that. Click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Legacy Retirement Group's landing page. you can claim your spot there. We're going to take a very short commercial break here on Winning Retirement TV. Don't go anywhere. I have so much more with Greg and Kristen when we return.
Plan smart, retire well. How do you do that? Many times we meet families and they actually think they have a plan.
But what about when you want to upgrade your house? What about when your wife wants to buy new furniture?
No investment decision should be made outside the context of a plan. So what is your plan? We believe in the 3-bucket approach as it comes to your finances. Your liquid bucket, which is what I call the sleep well at night account, for when the what ifs happen in life. Your income bucket, which is there to meet the gap between Social Security, maybe a pension, and what you really want to live in. We believe you should protect that income, then grow the rest. And then your growth bucket. The growth bucket's really focusing on helping you achieve your growth goals. As you transition from your working career to retirement, we want that to be the greatest moment of your life, and we don't want you to fumble the ball.
So imagine, when you're working, you're getting a paycheck. When you're retired, you have to pay yourself. The 3-bucket approach is a really easy way for people to start compartmentalizing what they're doing with their money.
We want you to be successful in any economy. We want you to thrive no matter what's going on. Worry and fear and greed are the biggest problems when it comes to investing. We want to take that off the table, and we want to make sure you have a consistent growth strategy. We want you to be just as successful in your retirement plan as you were in your accumulation plan.
Welcome back to Winning Retirement TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Greg and Kristen Taylor of Legacy Retirement Group, and we're talking all about all things retirement. This is a very interesting situation. Many of you at home are aware that Greg and Kristen obviously are on the radio as well with Winning Retirement on 610 WTVN. We know that this family actually is a very loyal listener, if you will. We have a scenario to share with you. The wife reached out because they've saved and invested for the future, also have 2 pensions. They want to buy a home in Florida. They're hoping to have your team put together a retirement plan that will show if and what amount of home they can buy in the Sunshine State, or if they're not able to buy in the Sunshine State. Are you able to help families with questions like this?
Absolutely. We actually love when people reach out to us with questions like this, because it kind of goes to what we've said over and over throughout the years, is that sometimes when you think about hiring a financial advisor, you think, oh, they're going to tell you what to do. Mm-hmm. It's not that. It's more using that person or that team of people as a sounding board to help you make decisions as they come along, because, life's going to happen and good things will happen, and there's some things that you require a little extra thinking to make your decisions more confident. So one of the things that I would say with that is understanding what your true needs are throughout retirement. So we would need to know that. We would need to know what all is there, what all your needs are. We need to start looking at what your income is and calculating that gap as well.
Oh, for sure. And once you understand what someone's needs are and you know what the gap is, as Kristen just mentioned, now it's about doing all the things necessary to make sure that they're going to be okay. And that's really what I think people, at least what the feedback we get when people come in, Cynthia, is they're wanting confirmation.
Absolutely.
But sometimes they have no idea truly, even though a couple that I met with recently, they'd saved just over $2 million, which is a great accomplishment. And they came in and they said, are we able to retire? Can we accomplish what we want to accomplish? And after about an hour of really drilling into what retirement was going to look like, the things they hoped to do, and what was the realistic number that they needed, we found out that there was going to be an $80,000 per year income gap. So we were able, for $924,000, we were able to fill that $80,000 income gap.
Wow.
That left a little over $1.1 million for growth over time. So I said, here's the nice part. You know that we've got a solid plan. We plugged it all in the income software. We used a 3% average per year inflation rate. We plugged all the numbers in, and it showed that they were going to beat inflation up to age 89.
Okay.
So they felt really good about that, because once you get in your older years, you maybe don't spend quite as much, you're not quite as active, you don't travel as much and things like that. So we felt really confident about that plan that was going to provide the $80,000 a year as long as either of them lived. Now, the 1.1 million we had in the growth part is able to do what it's supposed to do, and that's just grow without having to worry about taking out withdrawals during up and down markets. But what that was also there for is to accumulate over time, so when they needed to buy that next vehicle, or maybe they wanted to, solve that once in a lifetime bucket list trip. They wanted to go to Europe or whatever it happened to be for them. In their case, they wanted to spend a month in Italy. That was on their bucket list.
Beautiful.
So we were able to set up a plan for that out of this plan, Cynthia, and that's what it's really all about. It's not about how much money you save, because there's another couple I've met with recently that saved just under $800,000. And for their gap, they only needed a little under $30,000. So it took $400,000 to solve their income gap. That left almost $400,000 in their growth, and they were able to accomplish their goals as well. So whether you save $2 million, whether you save $700,000 or $800,000, or maybe even less, it doesn't mean that you can't retire. It just means you need a plan to give you that confidence.
Absolutely. And really what it comes down to, Kristen, is people just want that peace of mind to know that they're going to be okay.
Yeah, it just goes back to knowing where you're going.
Yes.
Having that end point. And for us, a lot of times it's that written plan with families that I think helps them get to that place of comfort where they're saying, okay, I can see this laid out. I can see how I can move forward with what I think I want to do in my retirement and throughout my retirement years.
And Greg, it's not a one-size-fits-all plan. Like, people aren't coming in and they're handed the same. I mean, you spend the time. You get to know
right
each
there at the
person,
conference room,
which is amazing that you give individualized attention the way that you both do.
It's such a humbling thing. Families come in, Cynthia, and they, it's not just money to them. They're bearing their heart. They're bearing their soul. They're reaching out to us. They're saying, we think we've done a good job, but we want confirmation that we're going to be okay, and we want someone that we feel like is really in our corner working with us. People don't need to be sold products. They need solutions. So for us, it's all about finding the right solution for each and every family, whether it's making sure they've got the amount of risk that's right for them, what they're comfortable with, what they can afford to take, the income plan that meets their needs, taxes and health care, and the whole thing. And once we have that all down, then they can walk away with a plan that says, okay, we're going to be all right. We're going to make it through our retirement journey, and now we can just go live our life with peace of mind. And that's what a plan's all about.
Absolutely, it is. And Kristen, isn't it important for husband and wives to come in together, to our married listeners and viewers at home?
Yeah, I think it is, and we're not here to rewrite how your relationship's set up, but it's nice for both spouses to be on the same page, whether it's the wife that does all the finances and the husband just is laid back, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. It really is just making sure that everyone's on the same page and can move forward comfortably, because our needs are different. What's that book? Women are from...
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
That's it. I knew I was going to mess it up. But we really are different. And so trying to find a common ground, and it's always amazing to me when Greg can come up with a solution that makes both spouses happy. And you see that moment, that kind of audible sigh that happens at the conference. Like, that's what gives me joy when I'm meeting with clients, and seeing him get fulfillment out of creating those plans is really, really fulfilling for us.
Well, it's life-changing. You're literally changing someone's life. And Greg, on that note, I know that you and Kristen have a very special offer to present to our viewers at home. Let's talk about what that is.
Well, I think, Cynthia, everybody just wants to know that they're going to be okay. And so for you to get your own personal plan for your retirement journey, because every journey is different. Everybody's health is different. Everybody's desires are different. Everyone's assets are different. So for you to get your personal plan and to claim your personal income plan and financial plan and retirement plan, just pick up the phone right now. Give us a call. We want to set up a meeting one-on-one with you personally, 614-336-7660. Pick up the phone, give us a call, and we want to do everything we can to help you reach your goals.
Greg, thank you so much. Kristen, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is 614-336-7660. If you don't have your pen, that's okay. Just grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Legacy Retirement Group's landing page, and you can claim your spot right there on that website. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we have my favorite part of the show, viewer questions. And this next question could be yours. Stay tuned.
We know the market is going to get worse from here. This is the biggest monthly decline in 10 years. People's 401ks took a major hit.
Well, my investments are tanking. My retirement isn't going as planned. I can't believe I let my kid talk me into buying crypto. I mean, what is that anyway?
This was the fourth worst contraction in history.
So how are you two doing?
Your financial future doesn't have to be uncertain. I'm Kristen Taylor with Legacy Retirement Group. If you've amassed a nest egg, it's time for a financial advisor to help you reach your retirement goals. This is one of the greatest tax windows in history. Now is the time to take advantage of this tax discount while you can. We specialize in retirement planning, tax mitigation, estate planning, and much, much more. Plan your retirement right. Call right now for your own complimentary portfolio review and tax analysis.
Welcome back to Winning Retirement Television. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Greg and Kristen Taylor of Legacy Retirement Group, and we have a viewer question. So viewer, is this your question? Stay tuned. Here we go. Are you ready, Greg and Kristen? With all of the spending going on in our country, I am getting more concerned with our tax rates increasing in the future. So how can we make sure that we protect ourselves from overpaying taxes on retirement accounts, because it doesn't feel like Washington is really watching out for us? Wow. That's a great question.
Oh my goodness. All I can think about is Monsters, Inc. And, you know, Mike Wazowski on there. Always watching Wazowski. Yeah.
Oh, it was Roz, right?
Yeah, that was Roz. Well, Uncle Sam is always watching, but I'm not sure that they're watching out for us. You know, and so with that, we have to really ask ourselves a question right now. Do we think, and I'm going to ask you out there watching, do you think tax rates are just going to stay the same, just perpetually go on like they are right now? Will they go down in the future? Maybe tax rates will lower. Or do you think tax rates have the real potential to go up? So if the answer is the last one, that tax rates have the possibility of going up.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes. If you answered that, you are correct. Or on Family Feud, they would say, survey says.
Yes. Oh,
yes.
my gosh, that's right.
Yes. And survey says most Americans right now do believe that tax rates have really nowhere to go but up. Because right now, we are smack dab in some of the lowest tax rates in history. So you could say right now, as hard as it is for anybody to say this, taxes are on sale. They're on sale. And we know at least here in 2024 and next year in 2025, that sale continues. And, you know, you get those ads all the time where only so many days left in this sale.
True.
Right?
Yes.
Well, there's just, you know, a little over or a little under 2 years, you could say, or a little over a year to where taxes are still on sale.
Okay.
So if taxes are on sale right now, and Kristen, it bothers her. She really wants something.
That's
and
true.
it's on sale, and she doesn't get it when it's on sale. Then she doesn't want it.
I
That's
can
true.
understand that.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Because why pay, well, you know, you don't want to pay more than what you could have on the sale.
Especially once you know it's on sale.
Yeah.
I know.
So if it's on sale, I want to take advantage of that sale. So how do we take advantage of the sale? Well, one of the first things you can do is stop contributing everything to just a traditional 401k, traditional IRA, all those tax-deferred vehicles. Now, I do want people to contribute to at least get their match, get their free money.
Okay.
Because there's nothing wrong with free money.
Well, it's
Absolutely.
100% return.
Exactly. So I like the free money. But if they have, you know, if you have at home a Roth 401k or at one of the largest universities here in Columbus, they now offer a Roth 457 deferred comp plan.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so that's
Nice.
awesome. So you could start
Yes.
contributing to your Roth 457 or Roth 401k or a Roth IRA. Pay the taxes now. Don't delay them till later. So That's one. Or maybe you don't have one of those options, but you have IRAs, 401ks, things like that. Well, now start thinking about converting that to a Roth. So contribute to a Roth or convert to a Roth. Pay your taxes today at these lower rates while you have the opportunity, because we don't know what the end of 2025 will bring. It could be that the Trump tax cuts just expire and we go back to the previous rates. It could be they get extended, which that would be awesome. I would love that. Or it could be that we get some new rate, which could be even higher than what they were before. So those are all possibilities. And what are we doing about it, though? If we do nothing, it's like having that sale and missing out on it. And then, Kristen, have you ever seen something you wanted on sale and then you couldn't really decide, you didn't buy it, and later on you were like, man, I should have bought that when it was on sale?
Yeah, I think you've done that before too. Why are you just looking at me for the sales?
Is that serious? I know, right?
I do. Around Christmas time, if I don't get that thing that I want to get on sale, then I do get upset about it. But you still get it.
I was going to say, because you still get it anyway. I know
you get it
well
anyway.
enough.
Either way,
But I mean, I think you're making a valid argument, because it goes back to just really controlling what you can control now, right?
Yeah.
We can't really control exactly what the taxes are going to be in the future, but we can control what we do with the money we have right now.
Sure.
And, you know, I don't think the taxes are going to go down. You know, I just don't think that's going to be a possibility. If they do, it's going to be a very short-term,
yes,
you know, economy boosting thing, because outside of that, we can't really have taxes go down with the trillions in debt that our country already has.
Of course, of course. Well, Greg, with only a minute left of the show this week, any final words of guidance and wisdom you want to give the viewers at home?
Yes, start today. Start doing it today. Start taking advantage of these sale prices today and have a strategy. Don't just do it, as Kristen would say, willy-nilly. You have to have a plan in place. And that's why we offer to folks the complimentary tax map RMD report, where you can really find out, what could I possibly be facing with my 401k or IRA with taxes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Greg, thank you so much. Kristen, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is 614-336-7660. If you have questions about your own retirement, how taxes will play a part, this is the perfect opportunity for you to claim that spot today just by calling in 614-336-7660, or grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. We would like to thank you for spending time with us today on Winning Retirement TV. Most of all, be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We look forward to seeing you back here 1 week from today. Take care now.